But these days, parents pay for studies. It's not a wrong idea, but I think some who cannot afford it should be helped also.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Omar?
Thank you very much. My understanding of study skills, let's take the two concepts, or the two words, as Dr. Jami has alluded to. What is studies? For me, I think studies is just about going in search of knowledge. That's the learning process, but also reinforcing what has been learned. So you have these two elements, going inside to find new knowledge and then going back to reinforce what has been learned. The skills are just the application, the manifestations. What do you do to be able to reinforce? What do you do to be able to search for new knowledge? Those are the skills you apply, and they are various and many, and I think we will come back to that.
Okay, Mrs. Now, reflecting on your experience as a veteran teacher and a parent, how did you deal with the issue of teaching at school and helping your children after school hours or at home?
After school hours, I think there's a lot of things that we can do for parents. Most of our parents go to work from 8 o'clock right on to 6 o'clock, and their children are left without supervision. That's why when they are in school, after school, they should be taken care of. Parents find it very difficult now to supervise their children during this time of the day, in the evening. But when they are in school, they are safe, and parents will be able to continue the work they are doing. During our time, parents were not working. Most of them were at home. They were able to look after their children. But at the present day, parents are so occupied, even if they are not in offices, they are selling, they are in business, they are in all sorts of things. That is one of the reasons why I feel very strongly that studies are important, provided we do things that the children will enjoy.
During your time, how do you help your children after school hours in their homes?
In the homes,
in your home, yeah.
In the homes, after school, during my time, we used to visit parents and see what is happening. Because our own time, education was quite different. Apart from the book learning, we were able to look after the children. So that you visit their homes, see what problems they have, what can you do to help them to get on with their work, whether they have any problems or not, and that makes it easy. I am now suggesting that these days parents don't have time to visit their children at school. I am recommending that parents should go to schools and visit them occasionally to see what their children are doing.
Mr. Omandur, what do you think is or should constitute the rationale for organized study classes after school hours? In other words, how do you think study class should be organized in schools?
Well, first of all, let us demystify the concept that people have about studies or study classes. I think we need to really understand why studies are needed. What we have now is classes are organized, and a teacher in the class and would teach a subject matter. As Doctor has said, that is instruction. That is not studies. And if we go by the ideal, if a curriculum is designed, if a syllabus is designed, structured I mean, And we teach the syllabus. There should be very little room to have those type of structured studies as we do have now, where the teacher would have to go back and teach. Because most of that work should have been done in the classroom.
Yes.
Maybe this is not the case. But let's go back to the rationale. For me, the rationale for studies should be, one, to reinforce and to provide remedial for weak areas during the teaching.
Okay.
For example, if you have, students, who are very weak, you could organize, some sort of remedial classes. You could also use it as corrections. Now, we can also move on to the type of study classes that, not study classes, but study, organized studies. One is group studies. You can have that, where you don't even need a teacher.
Okay.
What you need is the students after school come in groups and maybe take up topics each. Go do some research in those topics and come back, and each of them would report on what they have and the group would discuss it. That's a way of study.
And how beneficial in that group study?
Very, very. I mean, we applied it when we were at Milton Magai College in Freetown. And it is very, very effective. You find out that you are learning from each other, and it is forcing you to go and do some research. Another one...
what happens when students learn from each other? Do you think they understand better?
Oh, yes, they understand better than like, if you are learning from the teacher, for me, is a sort of indoctrinating you on what the teacher feels is right. But if you have a group and you are learning from each other, I mean, I think the knowledge is more extensive than, if you depend only on the teacher to give that instruction. I also want to mention about the issue of homework, where you can have independent learning, the student. In the past, this is what used to happen. You are given homework, you go back to the home, and then not only the teacher, but you could also have people within the community or the environment who can help you with your homework. That's a form of study. Independent learning. In those days, I could remember, you go to Banjul then, the electricity was not that much. You go, you find students on the poles, these electric poles, studying for themselves. They didn't need a teacher.
So you mean all the time it's not teacher?
It's not teacher. That is instruction. That is not studies. And unless and until we change that concept,
okay.
Then, sorry.
Okay, so in that case, what do you think is the impact of the school improvement grant?
Well, the school improvement grant, I think, for me, it has two major importance. One is removing some burden on the shoulders of parents. So it's a sort of poverty alleviation mechanism. That is from the parents' side. But from the school side, it is challenging the school to draw out programs that are specific to the school. The needs of the school would be prioritized. And the funds given, I think this is the first time I'm saying it, this is a grant given to primary schools, upper basic schools, and that fund, you sit down and look at your development plan and prioritize what you want for the school. So you find out that with the school improvement grant, it is going to fast track the development and progress in the school.
Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to mention another issue, like you can also have, if you still want the type of studies we have now, why not we have an extended school day? An extended school day, maybe an hour or so after school, but it is still within the school program.
Yes.
But what pertains now is not that, and maybe we will later come to that.
Okay.
Things are happening, and I think we need to address this as parents, as teachers, all for the benefit of the students.
Okay. Okay. So, Dr. Brown, what's your own take on these studies too? It is, what do you say? Do you like Mr. Ndur is talking about group studies?